Hi guys, welcome to the crash course on CA Inter Auditing and Ethics. The crash course is a compilation of the best topics put in the neatly crafted manner into a very finely crafted material which is there with you. So let's make sure that we make the most of this crash course. And couple of simple insights before we begin up is one, stay attentive during the class because a lot is dependent on the simple attention that you have. So if your attention is good, I think rest of the story can be easily taken care of. And then there is a practice for revision, right? So only two things that I need here would be your attention and a little bit of revision on a daily basis. So before I begin up, I would like to discuss a few things about audit. As you know, the question paper is not just for only the 100 marks. Here we have to talk about what is coming in choice as well. So if you look at that, we have this 30 marks of MCQs which we have to work on. But the best part about this 30 marks of MCQs is you need absolutely no special preparation for this 30 marks of MCQs. Why? Because if your concepts are strong, I don't think there is any need for you to break your head on MCQs. The case studies that are coming and the kind of questions that are being asked, if you have seen them, you can understand what I'm saying, that there is no real need for you to specifically prepare for MCQs. Having said that, I've also additionally given you a MCQ practice material because sometimes we feel that when we practice it gives us a little confidence. So once all your revisions are over, on a casual note, you can always practice. There's no nobody stopping you on doing that. And also, the question bank that we have is a compilation of all RTP, MTP, past exam questions. The best of the best have already been put into those things also. At the end of every chapter or at the end of every discussion that we have, it is very much advisable that you go and cover those questions on your own. Now, I will obviously help you in doing the question answers or the MCQs in terms of giving an explanation, but it will be way better if you really choose to do them on your own so that we have that confidence that, yeah, I now know the topic, plus I'm able to answer these questions. Okay. So, this 30 marks MCQs, I always make sure that I write this because this needs no special preparation. Now, coming to the other 70 marks on the other side, what you need to understand is that these 70 marks is about answering 5 questions of 14 marks each, right? But what we do is we get out of 6 questions, right? 5 questions you have to answer out of 6, plus there is an internal choice of 4 marks. So this set of 18 marks that is there, which is coming as choice, one extra 14 marks question and also one 4 marks internal choice. So totally, if you look at it, the question paper is not just for 70 marks, it is for 88 marks. So this 70 marks is from the 88 marks. Now the reason why I'm telling you this is we have to be absolutely focused in pulling off the exam. Okay. Now many people think that there is something that we need to do with the subject, you need to break your head. There are simple things that we need to understand before we go to the exam. Guys, there are students of ours who have scored 85, 86 in auditing, and somebody in India somewhere scoring 90 plus one odd attempt. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who I don't know, right? I'm talking about somebody who I know and who have taught audit. So I can take them as the understanding. Now, I'm not so rude to say they got, so you get. I'm saying they got, which means it shows a possibility that you can also get that much marks. So instead of hanging around at these 40s, right? Let us straight away target. Our target is supposed to be around 60. So your new pass mark that we are defining right now is to be 60. What will we get is a different story. I don't even want you to bother about it. But our preparation will be in such a way that we will go with it. Guys, in courses that we have done with shorter durations, people have scored 70s. So the point is not about your score. The point is about how you are and what you're doing, how attentive you are, uh, how well you can understand the subject, and later how well you can implicate that. How about writing answers? I will discuss that as we go through into the course in detail. in many places. See, multiple problems are there when it comes to the exam from people. That first problem many people have shared with me is retention. Sir, what to do for retention? How many other times I'm studying? My, retention, what is happening with it? I'm able to understand the concept, but how to write it? That will be solved because right now, what material you have in front of you, you can put it in your mobile. You can, have a printout. So you can, if you are a person preferring hard copy, you can refer back to that. If you are somebody who wants to lie down back and relax through the device, you can do that. So the only thing is, the more number of times you get to see things, it will stay with you. So that is one simple way of doing it. Plus, more than anything, the way it is crafted, the way we are going to do this course, if you are attending each class and each part of the course, you definitely will get exposed to the content clearly. Now the next only thing that we need to do is to have a framework, for which I am here. So we'll create framework, we'll understand it. There's a pattern for understanding every small thing, right? And the big fat book that you have for audit, you can for some time put that to rest. Make sure that you master this material that you have in front of you. It should be great. There is something that we will keep writing on screen, as a matter of fact, on screen. So if some of you prefer to, right, again, I will share the on screen notes as well with you. But if some of you prefer to keep a running notes to stay more focused and active, you are welcome to do that. Take a book and just, but you don't waste time in simply noting down something without actual understanding. So that is why I say understanding is at the prime point of thing. And we will do that, and then we will make sure that when we write in the exam, we write the proper way, which also is something that I will tell you by the time we finish. So guys, what you're about to get into now is a complete package. And like I said, or keep saying always, students write one, two, or three attempts depending on their situation is. But for me, across the last 13 years of my teaching, I've been writing every attempt ICA has been conducting. So if anybody wrote more attempts here, it's me. So I know how it works. Trust the process. And like I said, already you've trusted and joined the class. So trust the process as well. Right? Trusting me is one part of it, which I'm grateful to you. But trust the process. Maybe what we studied today, 3 days later, you will feel that you might have forgotten it, but you won't. So don't worry about all of that. Stay cool, stay comfortable, and we will deal with. Now, this 88 marks, the reason why I highlighted that is that increases our spread of the subject to 118 marks. Now, 118 marks, we have again certain, I call them as audit process oriented topics and some static topics. How I would like to divide. See, all these divisions are not there when it comes to knowledge. Okay, you have to study each and every topic, each and every chapter, each and every concept to get knowledge. But let's behave like students. At the end of the day, we have exam, we need marks, we need to qualify the exam. That is the purpose of a crash course, right? If it was a regular course, I tell you hundreds of things. What, and everybody knows, some of you are even article students, you know what we read in the book have nothing to do with what happens in the practical world. But that is why sometimes article students think, Are, anyway I'm doing articleship, what's a big deal, can't I write the answer? No, you can't. That's the problem. Reason is, there you would have done some process which is absolutely not the book process, and if you tend to write that in the exam, you won't get marks also. So there is a problem with respect to that. So you need to ensure that you have the fundamentals strong, right? We will do that. And what I say is, audit process, we are going to put up a 8-step audit process that covers everything ranging from the audit. I'm willing to split the syllabus into two parts. This is from a student's perspective who's doing for the exams, right? Audit process related topics, okay, and then we'll classify them as other topics. Okay, by doing this, the advantage would be, like when I say audit process related topics, we will start the story from standard number 210. So before even doing standard number 210, we'll talk about SQC1, which is about quality control. Okay, audit process related topics, we'll be doing SQC1, the quality control standard, and then standard number 210 to standard number 710, right? All standard that are there in our syllabus, everything ranging from how to take up an engagement to how to finish giving report. including giving clean reports, modified reports, including paragraphs of OM, EOM, key audit matters, and 710 on presenting comparative information. Everything that is required from starting an audit to closing it out, including company auditors report order. This company auditors report order reporting also will be discussed. We are not leaving a scope for missing anything in that. Every small topic, right, including some small topic where there is only a paragraph about what is an audit trail, that also I'm going to cover, right? That is why I told you the material that you have in front of you has been crafted after a lot of effort to concisely present the topic, at the same time not lose its value. Because at the end of the day, many people ask me only one question after doing all of this also: sir, if we read this material, is it enough? It should be enough. That is why we have done it. But sometimes if it's only pictures, only flows, or only text, everything will turn out to be a problem. Because some people are bad at retaining text. Some people remember the picture well, but if you write like that, you will not get the marks. So pictures with content, flows which are understandable, right? As I said, once you are free from today's session, sit and just scroll through the material further also, so that you can understand. Now probably you have a very basic understanding. Like I said, on the looks of it, some of you have commented saying it's nice and beautiful, but I wanted you to kind of go through a little detail, because we will anyway do that material in full. But what I suggest is scroll through it and see, because you're aware of the topics, and how you'll understand the effort has gone into bring that up. Don't worry, we will talk about this in the last session, because that's when you will be a better judge of this whole story, right? Now coming to the other topics, we have one. Actually, this is part of internal controls only, but I would always classify separately. This is called automated environment, audit in automated environment, followed by audit of banks, and then I have your two, what do I call, hated, dreaded, not interested. What will you title them? Whatever you call them, they are still going to come in the exam. So don't worry, we have something that is there for those two chapters also for you, right? What is it? Audit in special entities or audit of special entities. But these two topics, they are absolutely procedural. Like for example, this one, audit of items of financial statement, how to audit share capital, right? I can't create a new procedure to audit share capital. Assertions are there, we have to go by that. Fixed assets, how to audit them. Assertions are there, we have to go by that. So I will give you a wonderful technique uh, for both these chapters, audit of items of financial statement. Because as I just told you, end of the day, you have to behave like a student. How to win the story in the exams. That is more important than trying to balance everything. I would also want to say something, but some part of me says I should not tell you those things. But somehow, like to build your confidence, there are students in the past, not once or twice, multiple times, where people have written only for 75 or 80 marks. They've still ended up scoring in the higher 40s, 50s. Some students have gone to the extent of scoring 60 plus by writing only something for 80 marks. That means their precision in writing each answer is amazing. But again, they are not your sources of inspiration. Uh, you try to always write for 100 marks, the best of the best. But if you don't know one question for 4 marks, if you don't know two questions, 4 marks each for 8 marks, it should not ruin your exam. Remember that much. Definitely, some choice problem also will be there. I very well know that, because if you have questions 4 and 5, 4A, 4B, we know, 5C, 5D, we know. So this, I think this is not the problem of you and me, it's the problem of every student. So it happens, and then in that, again, making a choice in the choice is a problem, right? So we have to address all these things. It's okay, give your best answers in the exam. I hope such things don't happen with you, but even if that is a worst case, don't let 4 marks or 8 marks ruin your day. Because I hope all of you have seen past exam papers. Nowadays we have 4 sub questions, 4 marks, 4 marks, 3 marks, 3 marks, right? That's how 14 is coming. So don't take tension and don't build unnecessary pressure. even if you don't write that, this is something that I don't want to say, but for you to be confident, even if you don't write somewhere here and there about in each answer one bit, in each answer one bit of 4 marks, if you don't write, you're still not writing only for 20 marks, which means you're doing 30 marks MCQs and 50 marks answers, which still gets you about 80. If you do greatly well in this 80, that is, you should at least have 80% precision in each answer. 80 marks, 80% is still 64 on the higher side. So, guys, if I keep on talking like this, we will find it very difficult to fail. Sir, how will we fail when these many things are there? Sitting here, it will look like that only. But I think you guys know. Then you will also tell me, sir, you are not writing exam. We are writing. We know that. I understand. That is why I'm telling. Let's not stick somewhere around those 40s. Try complicating the story and all of that. Aim at 60. It is very possible, right? We can do it. Now, the audit process, the first set of topics that we will do, all this will cover every single chapter ranging from your first chapter on nature, scope and objective of audit, from there till audit reports across all chapters we will be done. Then we will get to a couple of small chapters wherein we will be talking about automated environment and audit of banks, all past exam questions, what are very important from where questions have come already are there in the material. Those 2 chapters, they'll be taken care of. Then there is the last part of this material. You have complete Caro reporting, and we will do a session on that as well, whereby you will be thoroughly provided the knowledge of all the 21 clauses. We already have a full length session recorded on Caro. We will, depending on the time we have, we can neatly see. And then I have a plan for these couple of chapters where I would let you understand what is the most important thing to be done. Because whether you like it or not, both those chapters will be there anywhere between, right? Each one will have a weightage of 10, 12 marks. So 20 marks in the paper is there here and there from them. Sometimes nowadays, you're getting lucky by they asking a question from special entities. They're asking a question in MCQ, like about CAG, who appoints CAG, or what are the terms. So easy questions. Sometimes we don't have to break our head. They're asking questions from LLP, cooperative society. All these are coming in MCQs. So you don't have to remember the lengthy procedure of how to audit them. Simply, if you do a small piece of understanding, you end up getting those 2 marks. So, guys, this is what I want you to understand as the broader introduction to this crash course. And I hope all of you are geared up to make it, a successful exercise for both you and me. Can I get a confirmation from all you guys? Are you guys excited enough to go about doing this? Yeah. And the very reason that this class is being taken live is to keep you engaged. And guys who are going to watch this on Google Drive later, you will also have the same excitement of watching this class at your convenience with a classroom experience. So guys who are live online, please ensure that you give a little work to your fingers sometime in typing that yes, no for me, nothing more than that, so that we know that both of us are on the same page, right? Shall we go ahead, guys, by starting the simple definition of audit? Yes,